Okay, hello everybody. It's a little cold and raining out, but it's not going to stop us from working today. Over to my left, I have Dr. Craig Nixon. He's PK's Bike Shop's triathlon coach. Craig, just a couple. You've done an Ironman before, is that correct?
I've done 3 Ironmans.
Three Ironmans? Mm-hmm. And is it safe to say that you have done over 50 triathlons total?
Easily over hundreds.
Hundreds of triathlons.
Hundreds of sprints and 3 Ironmans.
Okay, so safe to say Dr. Nixon has quite a bit of experience. Okay, so he's currently coaching some triathletes, but this is going to be a cool intro for us because we're about to talk to a friend of mine who I met on, you may or not know, it's a online game/training that you use on the bike, and I've been riding with Anne Hart. She lives in England for the past, I don't know, maybe year and a half or so. We've developed a friendly relationship, sharing training ideas, nutrition, and just overall having fun as with her as a riding partner. So I've been talking to Anne, and she has some specific objectives. And I thought about it. I was like, you know something, Anne? You need to talk to Dr. Nixon because he can really help you with your triathlon goals. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually call Anne up and use the internet here to give her a call, and we're going to have our first talk with her today. So hang tight, and we're going to call her now. Okay, so let's give Anne a call here. We are using WhatsApp, okay? Anne
speaking.
Hello, Anne. This is Paul from PK's Bike Shop. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing pretty good. So where are you in England? Are you outside of London?
I am situated just south of London, in between London and Hastings, in a little village called Tunbridge Wells, or town.
Okay, so is it kind of countryside, would you say?
Yeah, I've got to ride a few miles and I'll be on the countryside, the small country lanes.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so anyways, I got Dr. Craig Nixon here, and I've already introduced you to our YouTube viewers that we were going to give you a call, and this is something new and it's experimental, but that's something that we're super excited to have fun with. And this is going to be our first talk with Dr. Nixon here about your upcoming triathlon. Okay, and so you told me you had an objective, and that objective is a race coming up. When is that race, and what is the distance, if you could tell me again?
First of all, this will be my first triathlon, and I've decided I'm going to do 3 this year, 2 sprint triathlons and an Olympic distance one. And the first one will be on the 29th of April. And it's supposed to be a sprint one, but the distances are a bit funny because it's a pool triathlon. So they've shortened the swim to 400 meters. And then there'll be a 25-kilometer bike ride and an 8-kilometer run.
8 km run. Okay, so that
Yes.
basically.
It's a long sprint.
So the doc just chimed in. He goes, "That's a long sprint." But that's okay because
no problem.
It's not a problem. Doc says. So Doc has actually had been following you on Zwift as well because I, of course, bragged about you. I think how many miles did you ride on World Bike Relief? I believe it was a Sunday. I was on for like an hour and a half, and you were still on. I can't remember. I want to say you were on like 75 miles. But what was the total distance you rode?
Oh, I ended up on 203 miles.
203 miles. I'm bowing to you right now on the camera because that is just awesome commitment and discipline. Okay, so I'm gonna have the doc chime in here, and Doc is gonna basically look at this as okay, totally new client and a very new to triathlons because you haven't even done one before. So this is gonna be very, very cool. Doc, say hello to Anne.
Hi Anne, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well.
It's a
So
pleasure to meet you.
it's a pleasure. So when we start off with a possible athlete to train, one of the things we want to know is really what the objectives are. So if your objective is to do a half Ironman or Olympic distance or sprint, then everything gets focused on that. We'd want to know. Go ahead.
My objective is, obviously, I want to do the Olympic distance one. Will I turn down I'm not very good at saying no, so at some point I'll possibly end up with doing at least a half Ironman.
Okay.
Why am I doing a couple of sprint triathlons this year? because I'm new to triathlons and
Right.
I'm doing them to get used to the idea of transition and
Yes.
get a feel for what it's all like. I am
Absolutely.
definitely not a sprint type. I am way too heavy to be a fast sprinter. I need the longer distances
Okay.
to make up for what I can't do in the sprints. But they're all just trials to see if I'm up for it, what it feels like,
Right.
transition, getting ready for it.
Right. That's exactly where we start with people. Because, you get involved with it and you jump in the water and it's like, why am I doing this? So the other thing what we want to know is, what's your athletic background?
My background is, sorry if I'm laughing, because it's basically zero.
How did I do? There is now a level 0.
started doing sport. As a youngster and a kid, you do whatever you do in school, and being from Denmark, obviously, we cycled everywhere. Sport, a few years back, all of a sudden I became really overweight. I'm sure Paul's got a few pictures from Instagram he can show you. And I spent years being depressed and on antidepressants. It really didn't do anything for me.
Excellent. Good.
I found sport. It started helping. I made a few changes to my diet. Got a bit more into sport. Did a few more changes to my diet, and all of a sudden, I was no longer depressed, and the sport just took over more and more. And I constantly want to move my boundaries.
Okay, that's excellent.
That's a great story right there, Doc.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what it's all about.
No,
right there.
it really is, and I feel strongly about that. People can't sleep, well, work out. People are depressed, work out.
Yeah.
I mean, it just...
Yeah, I wish more doctors viewed it like you do, because I think every doctor out there, not everyone, but the percentage of them are like, okay, you're depressed, take this pill,
Yeah.
and come back and see me in 3 months, versus, all right, you're depressed, all right, well, you're going to start working out a lot first thing in the morning.
Instead of changing your lifestyle or taking medication and becoming tolerant to the medication where at the point it doesn't work,
That's right. Well-
changing your lifestyle would be my first choice.
Yep. I was talking to the doc, and what we got to do is we got to learn where you're at. And Doc is going to use a couple different types of tools, which, Doc, why don't you go ahead and start talking about the FTP test and when you think she should do that. And this FTP test is first of all, for the bike, because it's going to be measured by watts.
So there's a couple things we base our workouts on, and one of them from a biking standpoint is FTP, which is functional threshold power, which is basically the watts, how much power you're putting through the pedal, and we do that over a time period. It's basically, you kind of take a day off from exercise, and then the following day you focus on the FTP test. And the FTP test takes 60 minutes because I'm just trying to get some general information on it, and then we base our workouts on what your FTP is, your average FTP. So we base our workouts on the percentage of what we're trying to develop from a fitness standpoint and a muscular standpoint relative to your FTP, which is also correlated and very similar to an anaerobic threshold or lactic acid threshold.
And how are you going to figure out, like, okay, so it's swim, bike, run. How are you going to figure out what her FTP or whatever on the track? Is there an FTP, or how do you do that?
So the FTP on the track is, in that case, we actually go to a heart rate monitor.
Okay, so it's heart rate based?
It's heart rate based.
All right.
And we do 20 minutes, and it's basically all out, but you have to realize that there's still the concept of pace. You don't want to go all out and go really fast in the beginning and kind of drag across at the end of 20 minutes. What you're trying to do is have an even upbeat tempo for 20 minutes, and then we establish an average heart rate for that, and then we work our running workouts are again based on percentages off of that heart rate, maximum heart rate.